think again, it's company specific, Neil. If, let's say, a scenario where some of our clients in this room are trading across the UK and Europe, selling products into Europe that at the moment they bring into the UK and then distribute across the continent of Europe. The logic there would be to set up a warehouse somewhere in the continent of Europe, analyse where your client base is, look at where the best strategic location is to situate a warehouse, be that based on any fiscal representation that you may already have on the continent, and making use of that, or be it where your biggest concentration is of clients, but somewhere close to the ports, and route products directly into Europe away from the UK, and service your market that way. Conversely, if you're European based and distributing into the UK from Europe, then do the same in reverse. Set up a warehouse in the UK and ship direct here. And then everything, as you say, we've probably already answered it in terms of sourcing from Europe, or indeed manufacturing in the UK and selling into Europe. You know, the only real contingency you've got there on a hard Brexit is to avoid Dover, because it's going to be a nightmare. So look at the other options for routing your products into Europe. You are going to pay duties and taxes. Sorry, Terry.
Terry hasn't
They won't all do it, don't worry. But that would be your best option.
Sorry, Richard first.
I think I would add to that certainly understand your supply chain, talk to your supply chain, understand what arrangements they're putting in place, understand the economic origin of the products you're bringing into the UK and what you're doing to the products whilst they're here in the UK before export. Certainly talk to your freight and logistics operators, make sure you've got their commitment in terms of what they're going to do for you in a no-deal scenario. And for the countries that you trade in, make sure you understand the legality of trading into that country in the future. Does it involve you having a separate incorporation? Does it involve you having warehousing? Does it involve you having local nationals working in that country, not UK citizens? Does it also require you to talk to your bank about financing and other debt issues that you may, or cash flow issues that you may be experiencing? Those are the sort of practical considerations that we would certainly recommend firms begin to do now and begin to have those conversations. And if you do trade outside of the EU currently, you will have some indication and idea as to sort of the customs and other trade facilitation issues you currently experience there. Make sure you've got staff who understand it, make sure you've got the staff trained to do it, make sure you've got other requirements internally that you have it. And I would also suggest appoint a director who has Brexit planning responsibilities in your organisation, who can coordinate it across the organisation too, whether it's sales, logistics, HR, manufacturing, whatever. Appoint someone who has that overall responsibility and can coordinate it across respective teams within the organisation.
Charlotte, you wanted to add
something? I mean, Richard gets to see the inner workings of government and Brussels, whereas day to day I'm on the shop floor with a number of our manufacturers and seeing a real cross-section of preparation. People, I mean, cash is king, but also inventory is at the moment, which kind of goes against modern business practices, and it's difficult. A lot of businesses that were stung in the financial crash, you know, try to make themselves less dependent on other lenders and, you know, have built up the balance sheet again. So we've got some members that are stockpiling to at least September next year. We've got some that actually they'd love to, but either they've not got the cash, they don't want to go down that route, or they can't because they haven't got the space. So it's a really challenging time. Another unique trend that we've noticed over the last 18 months is particularly businesses setting up shop, I suppose, in Europe, particularly Eastern Europe, for all sorts of reasons. And that's nothing new, you know, we've seen business go to China, go to India, but these businesses are far more immature than we've seen before, taking these big leaps into North America, over into Eastern Europe. So some quite interesting tactics taking place, and I can't see everybody is following the same plan. It really is very different to different businesses.